Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. We are back again with Vampire the Masquerade Swansong. On Thursday, May 5th, Big Bad Wolf Studios released a pre-recorded developer walkthrough video. I am not going to review all the information since a lot of it is redundant with my Everything We Know So Far video. I will leave a link to that video in the description below. Instead, I wanted to cover the new information provided in their walkthrough. Please note the game is still a work in progress and this information might change upon full release. Also note there are spoilers in the walkthrough video, but I will wait until the end to talk about them and provide a warning before I do so. The event was hosted by Matthew the Gentleman Dawkins, who has run a YouTube channel called The Gentleman Gamer for over 10 years. He served not only as host, but also lore master for the Vampire the Masquerade universe. Joining him on the left is Elliot Hippo, the lead level quest designer for Swansong. Let's start with Caleb's character screen. We have seen this sheet multiple times before, but in this video, Elliot highlighted all of the skills and attributes, which allows us to see their full description. Starting with attributes, as you gain ranks, the willpower cost for related skills will decrease, and you'll also see a percentage that steadily increases. NPCs in the world have their own character sheet. When you attempt to use skills or disciplines against them, it might fail depending on the skills and attributes of the person you are attempting to influence. It's also possible you will end up in a tie. The steadily rising percentage increases the possibility that you will win ties against other people when using a skill. Increasing attribute ranks requires experience points, and the cost will steadily grow as you reach higher levels. The physical attribute affects the Intimidate skill and the Celerity discipline. Caleb doesn't have access to Celerity, so it appears which disciplines and attribute effects won't be determined by the character you are playing. It seems rather odd to me that physical wouldn't impact fortitude, but perhaps that discipline works differently. The social attribute affects the rhetoric and persuasion skills, as well as the presence discipline. The mental attribute affects the psychology skill, as well as the dominate discipline. Now let's dig into the different available skills. Rhetoric allows a character to identify and react to social conventions with ease. You can use it in a conversation, and it can also be focused. They demonstrate later in the video what focusing a skill means. Using skills in dialogue requires an expenditure of willpower points, which are represented by blue diamonds in the upper left of your screen. You can spend additional points to focus or boost the effectiveness of a skill. In this example, they need to calm the caretaker, but do not have enough points in intimidation or psychology to accomplish this task. They can resolve this problem by focusing the skill, but decided the cost was too large and used the presence discipline instead. Persuasion lets you convince others to agree with your point of view with logical arguments or by appealing to their emotions. It can be used in dialogue and focused. Technology measures your familiarity with electronic equipment. It allows you to hack these devices to go undetected or gain access to information. It can be used in dialogue and focused. I wonder if some missions will require you to turn off cameras in order to not break the masquerade. The psychology skill allows you to convince others to do what you want by playing off their emotional weaknesses and behaviors. It can be used in dialogue and focused. Security is your ability to pick locks and open mechanical safes. It can be used in exploration and focused, but cannot be used in dialogue. Education measures your breadth of knowledge about human and vampire society, as well as the formal and the occult sciences. It can be used in dialogue, however, it cannot be focused. It can also be used in exploration. Finally, deduction measures your ability to make accurate inferences from one or more clues in the environment or in dialogue. Like education, it can be used in dialogue and exploration, but it cannot be focused. Next, they moved into disciplines, and again, we are able to see the descriptions for some of the abilities. Disciplines also require experience points to increase in level, so you will constantly make decisions about whether skills, attributes, or disciplines are most important for you to upgrade. When using a discipline in the game, instead of expending blue willpower points, a character will increase their hunger. Hunger is represented by purple liquid drops in the upper left of your screen and can only be sated by drinking blood packs or feeding on a mortal. If your hunger gets too high, your character could give into the beast, causing them to randomly lash out and feed on a nearby human. Caleb is a Ventru, which means he must find a specific type of mortal that he matches, which will be represented by a symbol above their head. The game provides safe zones where you can feed on a mortal and dispose of their body safely. In the video example, the policeman is killed, but they said if you have greater control of the beast, then you can feed without killing the victim. Regardless, this increases your suspicion level because whether alive or dead, that body will be discovered. It's not clear to me how your suspicion rating actually works in game, but they hinted that if it gets too high, the prince might decide you have violated the Masquerade. Now let's go over the specific disciplines. Dominate gives you the ability to command others and turn them into puppets. The first upgrade is Compel, and it lets you use Dominate in dialogue. The second upgrade gives you a +1 to Dominate. This is obviously different from the percentage increases you get from skills, so I am not sure how that functions in the game. The third upgrade is Imperious Speech, and it will provide a +1 bonus while also lowering the hunger you generate from using Dominate by 1 point. The fourth upgrade is Iron Fist, and it makes your next skill automatically succeed without using willpower, but this generates 4 hunger points. Presence gives you the ability to influence the actions of those around you. The first upgrade is Awe, and it gives you access to Presence as a dialogue choice. The second upgrade is called Velvet Glove and provides a +1 bonus. The third upgrade is Scapular Demand, and it provides a +1 bonus while also ensuring when one of your actions increases the risk of an opponent's focus, the increase is reduced by 30%. Remember, NPCs have their own character sheets and can focus their skills the same way you can. The fourth upgrade is Silver Tongue, and not only does it provide a +1 bonus, it also prevents your opponent from focusing a skill. Using this increases your hunger by at least 2 points. They also touched on why Caleb has Sense the Unseen, which is the first level of the Auspex discipline. This ability lets Caleb detect supernatural creatures both directly around him and in traces they have left behind. The other two characters are limited to 3 discipline options while he has 4. This is due to the fact Caleb is 300 years old, which makes him the most senior vampire in the Boston vampire community and 200 years older than the other 2 characters you can play as in Swansong. As an older vampire, he's able to dabble in more disciplines and has developed limited usage in Auspex. Unfortunately, we didn't get any information about Fortitude. Diving into their mission walkthrough, Elliot mentioned that there are a ton of investigation dialogue options that require no blood use. So if you take the time, you can really dig into the different situations and get all the possible information. They also showed that sometimes completing a conversation in a certain way will reward you with a willpower point. Quick note before we start getting into spoilers. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate you hitting the like button. This information tells me which content the channel is enjoying and helps my video spread to more people. I really appreciate all of the support. Alright, one more warning. If you want to avoid any spoilers regarding this mission, now is the time to head out. 1, 2... Alright, so it turns out Jason Moore, the person you are sent to collect, is not the beheaded body you ran into. Instead, he's been hiding in a bunker that you must solve a puzzle to unlock. Jason begs Caleb to let him take a plane tonight, otherwise people he loves will be harmed. Since this was a rushed playthrough, Caleb had virtually no information about what Jason has experienced, which limits your options in this dialogue with him. Caleb forces Jason to get up and attempts to forcibly extract him past police officers. During the mission, Caleb is able to use his Sense the Unseen power to determine one of the policewomen present is actually a ghoul. A ghoul is a human who has become addicted to vampiric blood and is subsequently a slave for their master. Dana claims to be working for the Camarilla Council, but Caleb doesn't trust her. He has the option of telling her to leave or using Dominate to force her to leave. The option to just tell her to leave was chosen, and consequently she shows up at the end, points a gun at Caleb, and tells him she absolutely must take Jason. Elliot said that if we had used Dominate on her instead, we could have taken Jason with no interruption. Finally, I wanted to show the end sheet for this playthrough. The first section is traits, which you gain based on actions taken during a certain mission. Detective and Ready for Anything will lower the experience cost to purchase upgrades in the deduction skill and physical attribute, respectively. Success shows all the tasks you successfully completed during the mission. Alternative is not something that you failed. Instead, Big Bad Wolf Studios likes including mutually exclusive choices in their games. So something that you succeeded in doing has locked you out of an alternative choice. This is neither good nor bad. It's just a decision that you made. Failure obviously means that you failed to complete an assigned task. Based on this, you probably want to ensure Dana does not interfere at the end or eliminate her if she does. Keep in mind that in Big Bad Wolf Studios' last game, I felt that failing in a couple of key areas was required to get the best ending. If that holds true here, then having no failures throughout all the missions doesn't automatically mean you will get the ending you are looking for. It will be interesting to see what the final product is like. Hope all of you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a like, share this content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next video. Take care.